In the year 20XX, one person reviews the one and only Megaman film. This is Jay-Z versus the movies. Megaman. Alright, what's up guys? Jay-Z NES back again to talk about the one and only Megaman film. The one, we all know it, we all love it. No, you don't know it, you don't love it, you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. There was a Megaman film, you say? Well, it was a fan film. I'm gonna review fan films. I'm gonna do some of those, because it's cool as shit. They played this song in the credits, and it was great. The Megas. If you've never heard the Megas, go listen to that right now. Fucking get equipped. Perfect album. All based on Mega Man 2 and the villains and whatnot. This movie's actually based on Mega Man 1. It has all the robot masters from Mega Man 1. There's only 6. So, let's just jam out. Yeah. Alright. Anyway. Anyway, okay, sorry. So, let's get back to the review. So the movie is about, like, Mega Man 1. They have these comics, I should have grabbed the comics off the shelf there, that, like, kind of fill in the backstory of Dr. Light and Dr. Wily there. And it's actually pretty accurate to those comics. I don't think those comics had come out at the time. Maybe they had, I don't know. The backstory was probably out there already. It's like 2010 when this movie was made, so... This is my song. Anyway, so yeah, I remember seeing this back when, like, around when it came out, and it was like, wow, this is revolutionary. You know, at the time, we didn't have any fucking video game movies to look up to, outside of, like, Resident Evil and stuff, like, you know, and I liked those movies okay back then, but Capcom would have never fucking made this, not yet, anyway. There's always rumors that it's in consideration now, but anyway. This fan film is actually a really solid adaptation of Mega Man. Again, like the Animal Crossing film, which wasn't a fan film, by the way. Just the dub was fan film about that. God, I'm just going to jam out to this music. It's so good. Anyway, so this is a full fan film. Live action, for the most part. I mean, there's some CG with the robot masters and whatnot, but it actually looks pretty decent for... you know, 2010, first of all, and for probably being a pretty low-budget film. Like, I can understand it where people probably would be like, oh, it looks kind of shitty or something, but it's like, no, that's part of the charm, is that it actually, it doesn't look bad. And like, the set design and the costume design and stuff looks pretty spot on to what you could expect from sort of a live-action Mega Man film. You know, if the companies did it, they would make it bigger and better or whatever, but... that's not what's cool about the movie. What's cool about the movie is that it is a fan film, and it is done so well. It is the perfect example of what you can do as a fan film. You don't need to be a big studio, and just the fact that they did that should show should show the studios even, just like, hey, like, this is possible, you know? This is... very doable. You can make a Mega Man movie. Like, that, it's easy. It's not even that hard. Some fucking idiots, no offense, they're cool. They're not actually idiots, but you know, some nobodies, I should say, in 2010 fucking did this shit. And you guys can't do this shit? Like, get your shit together there, Capcom. Get your movie shit together. Be like Sega. Make a Sonic movie, except for with Mega Man. But maybe don't use that concept. Just do what this movie did. Do a straight adaptation of Mega Man. Not even necessarily the first game, but the first game is a good jumping off point. The story shows Dr. Light and Dr. Wily working together, creating the robot masters and whatever, and Roll is there. Like, she's a robot, obviously, and, it kind of starts off with that, very grounded. It's not about Mega Man going out and defeating Robot Masters right away. They set that up, you know? The Robot Masters are these, like, Nobel Prize-winning robots that are gonna, like, change the world and actually help people to do stuff like construction and whatever. And that's all, I'm pretty sure that's all in the comics, too. But, like, the fact that this is, like, they must have known the lore of that or something. Like, this might be in the manual. I don't really know. I haven't read the Mega Man 1 manual or anything. But anyway, somehow they have this story, like, of that. You know, Dr. Wily, Dr. Light working together. Dr. Wily's very jealous of Dr. Light because, you know, not even just jealous. He's, like, angry that he doesn't want to use these robots for bigger and better. He's like, we could be doing better with these things. We could do so much more than what you're applying them as, you know? Like, we can go above and beyond all of that. We can surpass all of that. Like, we can do so much with these, and Dr. Light's like, no, we just need to keep it simple. We don't want to overdo it, kind of thing. They'd created this robot in the past together, Blues, who's, you know, like Proto Man or whatever. And he's like a central character in the movie too. Not like a central character. He comes in a lot. But to like help out Mega Man and stuff. You see him now and again. But it like so like, you know, there's this whole thing at the beginning, like I was saying, they build the robots together. You see them, they're doing like this interview with this TV station or whatever about how cool that is. They're talking about like their teleportation technology and whatever. They're setting up all of this stuff, like this classic Mega Man stuff, you know. And then they build Mega Man, or not Dr. Wily though. He fires Dr. Wily right beforehand because he's like, he just wants to do it alone and doesn't really trust him and whatever. So he gets rid of him, and Dr. Wily's like, you're gonna regret this, you know, and all this stuff. You know, and eventually, obviously, later he ends up stealing the Robot Masters and, like, going on a rampage of the city or whatever. And it's really cool because Dr. Wily is actually, like, a pretty competent villain. And I want to say that, like, in the movie, he's, like, the best actor of them all. They all do a decent job acting. I mean, it's not, like, Hollywood levels of acting, but it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's pretty believable. It's not, like, what you would expect in terms of, like, you know, lesser quality or anything. It's good. It's actually really competent acting. But Dr. Wily, like, really is in his role. You know, you feel it. You feel how angry he is. You feel the emotions that he sets out there. Like, he's the most well-rounded character, I feel like, in the movie. Like, you really get a sense of why he's pissed off. Like, kind of what his whole thing is. You know, you get to see a lot of him, and he definitely, I don't want to say steals the show, but, like, he does a really good job. So, having your villain be, he's kind of like Jim Carrey, and you know how Jim Carrey, like, elevates Robotnik to a new level, or whatever? Anyways, so, yeah, you really get the feel for Dr. Wily and his struggle there, and like, they really set that all up, you know, and you see Dr. Light's opposing views of, like, no, we need to use these robots for good or whatever. And Dr. Wily, you know, he's got a screw loose, so he wants to just go and rampage with them. I don't think that was his intention at first, but, like, Dr. Light, he's been in Dr. Light's shadow for, like, all these years, and he really wants the spotlight. He wants to, I don't know, he just wants to be seen for once. You know, everyone keeps pushing him aside. They pushed him to this, basically, is kind of what it comes down to. And Dr. Light's got, like, you find out later, he's got, like, this wife that died or whatever, and she was gonna have twins. So, Dr. Light actually, like, created Mega Man and Roll, or Rock, as they called him in the movie. And, you know, they call him Mega Man when he's in the suit and everything. But, like, they created them, he created both of them to like, basically be his surrogate kids, you know, like, the kids that he was never able to have, because the wife died before they were born, kind of thing. So, So yeah, that's kind of a cool aspect. And you know, it's like the other part of the movie, like the last third of the movie is like him taking down the robot masters and then going and taking on Wily. That's all like really well done too. Like they even have the big airship thing from, I think that's from the second game. I think it's in a lot of the games, you know, but like the flying fortress airship thing. Like they did CG for all of this stuff, and it looks good. Like it doesn't look that bad. Like, you know, you would think it would look bad, but it doesn't look bad. It looks actually pretty good, you know, for the time especially, and for the fact that it was a fan film. It's just impressive to see. They put a lot of effort into this, you know, like their costume design and stuff too. I said, like, yeah, it's pretty spot on to like Mega Man. It looks really good. And Proto Man even has his like red costume and all that. Like it looks like armor and stuff. It looks good, you know. And all the effects for like the weapons and stuff. They have all the weapons from, you know, every time he defeats a robot master. Dr. Light even says it. He's like, think of it as a game of rock, paper, scissors, and you have to like take them out by their weakness or whatever. So like, you know, they even got that aspect in there. It's like a literal adaptation of the game, but they add all the story stuff that's like the backstory to Mega Man as well. And then they also add an aspect of like Mega Man and Roll trying to be like human. You know, they're trying to figure out how to be human, if they can be human, if they deserve to be human. And their like Roll was like, you know, oh, it's okay that we're not fully human, because like Mega Man was like, doesn't it bother you that like we're not actually humans? And Roll's like, no, that's okay. I like being different. Being different, being as close to human as possible, but being different still makes us unique. It makes us who we are, and that's great, you know. And she's like, I like who I am, you know, that kind of stuff. So that's cool. I mean, it's like, it's not like a super deep or complex story, but it's simple. It's simple like the NES game. I mean, the NES game doesn't have a super complex story. There is no story in the NES game for the most part. But they get all of the aspects, like visually and personality-wise and aesthetic-wise and setting-wise. They have like labs and like computers and shit all over the place, and it's like, you know, they just they really nailed it, I feel like. I mean, I know it's like each stage doesn't like look like a Robot Master stage. It's just kind of like there's no stages really. They're just out in the city fighting, but it's like that's fine. I mean, it looks good. It still works, you know. And like I said, half the Robot Masters are like CG, and even they look pretty good, you know. I mean, it's all very well done, especially for being a fan film. And it all comes back to that, right? Why can't Capcom or a big budget studio do something that is a Mega Man film? Or hell, now even with the success of the Mario movie, do a fucking animated Mega Man film in the style of the Mario movie. I would fucking watch the shit out of that. You can keep all the same plot stuff, make it maybe a little bit more, you know, in depth, make references to all the Mega Man games. You know, you get Rush in there, you get fucking, put the Megas in there. That would be the most lit thing. I'm sitting in the theaters, I fucking hear the Megas playing. God damn, that would be amazing. I would fucking love that. That'd be so good. They need to make a Mega Man movie, like an official studio Mega Man movie. But you know what? It might not even live up to this one. I mean, it's not amazing. I mean, it's pretty amazing for what it is, you know? Is it like a high art piece of cinema? Like, no, obviously not, because it's a fan film. But you go in with that expectation, and for that, like, it's actually really well done, you know? Like, it's actually good. It's, like, really good. It adapts Mega Man into a film. And it has all of the good effects and all of the story and all the heart to it. You know, like I was saying, like, Proto Man's in there, Blues. His story was like he was the first try at all of this, but they gave him free will, basically, and he didn't have to follow his programming or whatnot. And they thought that was really dangerous, and they were going to change out his core. Also, the cores look exactly like Iron Man. That was so Iron Man inspired. But anyway, they were going to change out his core so that he would just have to follow programming and whatnot, and he said no, and then he ran off. And then they talk about that later. And Dr. Light's like, I could fix your core, you know, or whatnot, and Proto Man's like, no, I don't care, even if like I don't have that long of a life, I want to live with my free will, kind of thing. So that kind of stuff is interesting too. It makes you think a little bit, like not like super much, but it makes you think a little bit. So that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I just like it. I think they did a good job. It really is just a great adaptation of Mega Man, and especially for a fan film, it just does well. And you know, there's some slow moments every now and again or whatever, but you don't can't be like, it's only an hour and a half long anyway, and like part of that is credits, obviously. So, I mean, I just think it's very commendable to see something like this, you know. Um, And especially for 2010, like seeing that back then was like, oh my god, if fans can do this, what the hell is wrong with the studios? You know, we didn't have, like I said, very many good video game adaptation movies back then. We have more now because they're finally starting to do some shit with this. You know, we got Sonic and Mario and all of that, but back then we didn't have anything. This was like, this was what we're like, why? Don't make something like this. Do this, you know, like, but we have this. We have this fan film, and that's great. I hate to call it a fan film, but that's what it is. But until Capcom gets off their high horse and actually makes one, this is the Mega Man movie, and I won't hear otherwise, you know, like, yeah. So like, the setting's good, the action is good, it's all really engaging and like fun to watch, and you know, it's all referential to Mega Man. I like that a lot. The aesthetic and the setting, or I said the setting, the aesthetic design is good. Like the costume design and all of that's great. The music, I didn't talk about the music. Good. They do have some of the classic, like, they kind of callbacks to the Mega Man like themes, like Proto Man's theme and like the Dr. Wily theme and all of that, like stage, you know, the famous one. And then like, of course they have like the Megas at the end there. No, other than like that, there's no like Mega Man theme or anything. Like, I don't know. You don't need to be over referential with the movie. It feels more like the Sonic movie where they kind of sprinkled it in. You know, like the Mario movie had like all the Mario songs. And you know, like, I get it. Maybe they were worried about like copyright or something. Since their whole intention with the movie was just like to put it up on YouTube. Obviously you can't like market this and put it out there as like, we made the Mega Man movie. It's like, it's a fan film. You know, you get that. But I like that. I appreciate that it was done as well as it was. You know, it was good. It did a good job at being a Mega Man film. The characters, like I said, were pretty good. Especially Dr. Wily. His acting was like top notch. Like for something like this. Yeah, and it resonates. It works. It works as a Mega Man film. They have all of the aspects that need to be there for a successful Mega Man film. So, yeah. I'm gonna give the Mega Man film a 8.8 out of 10. Which is in high contrast to, apparently, I think it was IMDb or something, which gave it a 3.6 out of 10. Let's see, let's go back and let's look at this. Which one? I saw something. Oh, well, okay. It's not gonna tell me. It was like 3.6 or something. I'm like, dude, this movie does not deserve that. I get what they're comparing it to, like, fucking The Dark Knight and shit. But it's like, dude, this is not that bad. Like, I guarantee you, if there was like a Mega Man movie in the 90s, it wouldn't have been this good. You know, like, you know, so yeah, I want to see them do better, the studios or whatnot, but like, I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. Like, this was good. You know, this is really good. I mean, it's possible. It's just, it's like, are they gonna do better? You know, like, maybe. But it definitely is a piece of its time in the regards that, like, it's almost pioneering for video game movies, and that's insane. Like, for a fan film, it was punching above its weight. You know what I mean? Like, it did a good job with all of the pieces that it had. So very cool. Because we tried to make like a Resident Evil fan film and shit. It's hard. Have you ever tried to make a movie? It's fucking hard. Okay, it's not just like sitting in front of a camera like I'm doing. Not that this isn't. I mean, okay, I'll be honest. This isn't that hard, but that's why I'm doing it this way. I like this video format because it's easy for me to do and then just upload and whatever. And some people seem to resonate with it, so that's cool. But anyway, making a movie is hard. So, like, critiquing it so hard, that's fucked up. No. Because it was actually good. Like, if it was bad, if it was, like, really bad, like, I get it. Okay. But no, it was actually really good. So, I say go watch it. I think it's on YouTube still. It was on YouTube forever ago. If not, just type in, like, Megaman movie. You'll find it. On, like, Google or something. Like, or you could type in Megaman fan film movie or something. Because, like, when I type in Megaman movie, it's, like, talking about all of the rumors that that's going to happen now or something. I don't know. Anyway, I highly recommend it. I thought it was a really good adaptation. So, one of the better video game movies of all time. Even though it's not, like, official, you know, even it's not, like, official Capcom movie, it's still a great video game movie and a great adaptation of the Mega Man property. So, until next time, stick around for more underrated movies about video games and games and all that junk, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Finn.